Effortless will be taking on nosfa in our fifth game of the night. Things are really starting to spice up here, aren't they, Zoo?
Just as much as I'm having my fight with paper, they are spicing up a lot. And Effortless, I think, if depending on how we're calculating games that are remaining for people within the stage, Effortless is going to want to get as many points as possible. Just get yourself as firmly far away from Waz as you possibly can.
Oh yeah, that is really going to be the key because, you know, as we keep trying to really stress at this point, it's week 9, there's one more week after this. Last chance saloon for a lot of these players, depending on bye weeks as well. It's scary, scary stuff. It's down to crunch time. Let's get into it. Effortless. Oh, go on.
We just had a nice bit of spicy information. Effortless plays Waz next week.
Oh.
So depending on how things go, it's a nice little closer to the stage, with each of them having another match, but it's
between each other.
Clash of them.
Wow. Okay, that could actually shake.
I was going to say Clash of the
bit.
Titans, but they're up for relegation. So,
well, Clash of the Titans, but they're both the same size. So they look equal sized.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. That's how we do things.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Talking of Effortless, though, what are your thoughts on this man?
He's a nice guy. He's often been incredibly polite to me, and I think he's got very positive characteristics as a human. He's also pretty good at Quake. He likes to play the crouch slidey champions. He reminds me of Dramus a lot in terms of how he likes to just play free-spirited. But he's actually been upping his performance a lot since Quake Pro League started. Been improving as a player. And he's been getting loads and loads of practice. Also someone who's got a very sort of strong team-based background within Quake, and someone who's enveloped himself in the world of Duel and started reaping some successes from it.
Which is always the prime position to be in. Obviously showing that he's got a lot of tools in his Quake-sized tool belt. However, his opponent, I do like to rant and rave about at times. He always gets me excited. I feel like there's still a lot to prove for this young man. nosfa, a very talented gamer indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy is very, very spicy when it comes to playing. You usually expect him to come out of the gates exploding like fireworks. He can do some of the most insane stuff. My favorite is watching him probably play Ranger on Awoken, but this guy is striving to be the best, and I know when he's gunning down for those land conditions, he's up for any match, and he is up to win all of them.
I think this is a prime time to talk about it as well, something we touched on at the start of the show, the fact that you were saying that nosfa is actually going to be having a boot camp in Europe prior to Poland. That is incredibly huge. Obviously, at the start of Stage 1, I believe we had him in Europe and we saw the difference in skill ceiling. Is that what we're expecting this time around?
Yeah, we're 2 weeks, I think he's got with Dramus, but I very much doubt they're going to be playing against each other a lot.
No.
They're probably going to be trying to take games from as many European players as possible. Having watched the challenges, it's like this constant reminder of how much talent there is in the European community, that the games that we were having yesterday from start to finish of the tournament were absolutely mind-blowing. So they're going to have just a wealth of opportunities to get better, see lots of different styles, and start to build up some reads on their opponents.
Interesting stuff. I'm curious to see how much that actually affects both of their play styles going into Poland, because that European competition, especially not having to worry about the ping as well, not having jet lag going into Katowice, all of these things sound glorious.
Also, boot camping in Europe can be trial by fire sometimes, because it's a scary level, in my opinion, when we've got so many people outside of the Quake Pro League in the EU CIS scene who have that talent, that when you've got to fight up against it, and then you're going to be getting against those Kelsons, those Coolers and Razes and Vengers, and then it's like, okay, we've got to sort of mount up gradually, get used to the practice regime that each of these guys have, because it gets pretty hardcore.
It's going to be spicy. Let's check out the picks and bans, though, and see what we have going on in that department, as hopefully this will provide us a fairly interesting matchup.
Oh, indeed, we are starting off with the Ranger versus Doom. It's not going to be nosfa's Ranger, it is going to be Doom, but it's also really fun watching him play that champion on Awoken. He's got still good mobility, but it's not that kind of same zesty, sudden, surprising orb attacking plays that we've got from him beforehand. But Effortless has absolutely got a chance to do that. I think that there's a pretty sort of comfortable pick for Effortless on Molten with the slash. Visor's going to be used by nosfa. I mean, he's going VQ3 all the way through this with the BJ down on Ruins too. And then another crouch slider for Effortless. I think Effortless has got champions he's very comfortable with. I don't think it. He actually told me yesterday, so actually just he's got comfortable
straight from the horse's mouth.
Exactly. So he's definitely happy with what he's got to play, which might be something very bad for nosfa, but he's ready for the challenge.
I think if there's anyone that will be up for a challenge, it's always going to be nosfa. He seems to love to take opportunities head on. And as you said, starting off with Awoken, a map that he's very well versed on. Doom, another hero that's going to play straight into his hands there as well. I think Awoken's going to be a spicy event to kick us off. I think this whole series is going to follow in that vein as well. I look at Ruins to close us out. nosfa on a bit of BJ. All right,
yeah,
I'm up for it.
I'm down for that. And if he's willing to be aggressive, I think there's been points throughout the Quake Pro League where he's maybe doubted himself for a moment and he's tried to change his style too hard, whereas he's lightning in a bottle. Like that does kind of symbolize what he's like as a player. He shouldn't deviate from it too far, just those small tweaks rather than major gameplay or changes.
Live up to that Mjolnir title. Fly in, show those sparks, and do some damage. I hate it when we see him play timid. I love it when we see him let loose.
Definitely. And, well, he's going to be letting loose a rail right off the bat, get an initial 90 damage. And straight away, that's a way to just have a little smile.
Ooh. Nice little opening connection coming across there. Deep dive in as well. Tons of damage done, but it won't be nosfa that finds the opener. No. It's going to be Effortless to punish it first as the Ranger comes out swinging.
And he's going to have a go at the Mega too. Takes a whole lot of the items. nosfa was busy getting himself over onto the Lightning Gun. Tribolt is not doing too bad damage either. And he's going to drop down with the LG and gets so much damage straight away, tying it back up. Little double jump over. And the armor's starting to work too. He needs to challenge. He needs to move forward now for this this heavy.
Clean connections with the Tribolts. He's putting so much fear into Effortless. It took so much confidence being built up before he'd eventually deep dive across and try and snatch away that heavy. Does claim it. Rockets whizzing by him as well. Straight out of there. Look at that movement.
Ammunition is a pain point at the moment for nosfa. Well, he'll take it steady. He's got his little routine that he can take. There's a lot of damage that he's just done. Effortless has walked into heaps of it. Mega's still not up for a few seconds' time, and nosfa potentially missing out some chances to up his armor a lot more. Well, the rail, that was a close shave. That would have seen Effortless retake the lead.
This is really unlucky for nosfa in terms of ammunition. All he's got at this point is the Lightning Gun really to try and punish with. A couple of rockets left. He's got 5. Is he going to be able to do some damage? Starts to reposition slightly. Oh, that Doom double jump coming out, but not really working in the fashion he wanted it to.
Again, these stray rails. It's acting as a sort of warning for nosfa. Jumping over that hole in the wall angle. Effortless misses the rail, so it gives nosfa a little bit of space. Major items going to be coming back up at the same time in about 10 seconds. nosfa, he needs to maybe take the initiative soon. Just hears him in time. Double jump over. Has to watch out for that orb. It's not going to do too much extra damage. It's going to be a little bit of a swap, actually. I think this is a swap that benefits nosfa. Never mind. Effortless is so fast. nosfa's taking his time trying to calculate exactly where Effortless is going to go. Whereas Effortless is just being a bit of a doer there, and he's everywhere. Nice proactive play from Effortless. Keeps it snappy and gets himself into the lead. Hesitation from nosfa. Costly.
This is a good spot now. Effortless starting to roam. Railgun out. Big tack. nosfa knocks so low. Effortless could actually really start to build himself a good bridge between them two. He can push this distance out if he carries on like this.
Time to lock down a little bit of extra control. Okay, orb out. Does miss the boat a little bit. And Rockets can't seem to hit the mark anymore, and nosfa punishes. From the amount of control Effortless had, that fight should have gone much more into his way. That dunk, though. Oh, fantastic, Rail. The Mega's up. I do love, again, more proactive plays. Some nosfa not sitting back, not waiting, getting things done. Heavy's going to be up in a moment. Effortless, well, it's a costly rocket jump at the end of it. Left with 100 health. Heavy's there. And no rockets left. Rockets are pretty essential for nosfa, so he needs to be very, very careful. Oh, that rail did not... That was a confusing moment for him, but Effortless. Eyes pretty wide for the mega health, but not deserving of it at that point.
Yeah, the sleight of hand trick didn't really help him out in the matter of survival. He will still fall, and nosfa now has a 1-frag lead. He's hoping to try and extend that further and get a second if he can, but he's taking a ton of damage in this confrontation. Needs to back off. The heavy is right there within grasp. He will snatch it away. There's 5 minutes left as well for these two to carry on fragging out. The Mega's going to come up, but it's still going to take a little bit of time.
Ooh.
Effortless! Oh, the tri-bolt blowing him out the server.
Yeah, nosfa not reading that as a possibility. He's too greedy to get himself into the light armor, which would have saved him for a bit longer. You got to go in for those little baits, dodges, so on and so forth. And nosfa's still able to get good damage. It's like he gets knocked down for a moment, but he's right back up again. And Effortless just spinning around like, where's my target gun? Where's my prey?
Struggling to get his bearings, but he's definitely very proficient when it comes to dealing beatdowns. Gets the tag off with a lightning gun. nosfa immediately falls back, has to reposition. Effortless expecting the push through the teleporter. He hasn't come out yet, but he's still going to hold strong, and the gamble will pay off. Tons of damage done, but the same can be said from nosfa's point of view. He's almost fragged him out, Zoo, but he snatched away the heavy to give him some kind of chance. But it's a suicide.
Don't rub it in deeper, man. So mean. Oh god, an orb comes through. It is going to work. nosfa, there's these rushes for the items. And yeah, this kind of the anticipation and foresight that we need nosfa to be having, I think. Great shotgun work. Effortless wants to... sorry, nosfa wants to get out of here a little bit. This hurts so much. nosfa finds himself at 25. He's not feeling too terrible anymore. But now he's super weak. Tri-bolt, this super shotgun should take him down. I say should. And nosfa again getting really curious. His life preservation is not where it needs to be.
Oh! Oh no!
It's had an accident.
If you've had an accident at work...
Please call Shub hotlines.
nosfa was given the wrong type of ladder.
That was... Oh my... What? They're throwing away these really weird kills. Finding it slightly upsetting, Jackie.
Oh, mate, yeah, that is just disgusting. The position we're in already. It really is a brawl between these two right now.
Either one of these players could be 10 frags ahead of the other. Had they not done certain things. Oh, the lightning gun. I love it. That was awesome carrying from nosfa. Need some more of that, please.
Making Effortless look like Mary Poppins right now. It's like a Disney movie, and he's going to carry on as well. This is turning a little bit more R-rated as he busts out the lightning gun, but what a shocking turn of events. He's the one that falls short. Effortless survives with 6 HP.
The chase again is so back and forth at the moment. If he hung around just on the mega health, he would have had that absolutely fine. Or he could have backed away, up connector, heard exactly where his opponent was coming from, and known exactly how to prepare for it. It's a manic game, but nosfa has cemented a significant health and armor advantage now. And he's starting to get the weapons too. He is in great shape, and he needs to really hold steady on this mega health. Anchor down on the items. And make Effortless pay. Do not put yourself out of position. Rocket was close. Really close. Timing's good for Heavy. Oh my god, the LG! He's missing so many things! What is happening? Oh, the rail! That should not have been as close as that. Effortless almost miraculously comes back from that. It makes me feel like there's still a chance for him to do this. His rockets are good! And it's 8-8! nosfa just puts himself in a corner of the map where he can't get out. He's low on stack. nosfa gets back onto the items, he gets back onto the weapons. Rinse and repeat.
This is just absolutely bizarre. I don't even feel like we can predict anything that's going to happen anymore. We're just being fed the unknown time and time again. Now it's left in this situation. They're both head-to-head, 8 frags apiece, with more 30 seconds left to try and make their peace on this map.
There's like this certain eagerness to get the resources that immediately affect them so much and are in close proximity, but thinking about what's my opponent going to do if I do this, that next level, the next level of foresight needed has been vacant. But we are going to get a sudden death, our first today. Wait, is that our first? It might be our second.
I think it's our second.
Second. Apologies to the world.
I'll let you off this time.
This time. Heavy's next. Effortless. It's not after that. nosfa can break away.
Oh. He's lucky. If he would have stayed around any second longer there, he would have taken an absolute ton of damage, being hit by a truck of a railgun. The direct in!
Wow!
Oh, the unzoom!
Wow. Okay.
That is beautiful.
The lightning gun from Effortless to build up that kill was absolutely immense, actually. 42%. They hit 1 damage off of each other, 1,777 to 1,776. So it was obvious who was going to win in the end, really, seeing that.
To be fair, the stats don't lie. It just makes sense, really, doesn't it?
But very, very unusual game. We saw a lot of good plays, but they were sandwiched between, I'll be honest, bad plays.
Yeah.
There was a lot of times where a really nice frag would take place, and really there's like a lot of skill that goes within the combat in itself, but they immediately lose out on an opportunity because they go somewhere which is like a hot spot of someone's spawn, and they know they're weak, so why would I not rush them down? And it happened so many times in a row, I was expecting, well, maybe the 4th time that it happens, they're going to realize like the opponent has some strength off the spawn, so I need to be careful. Both of these players could have won that map so much more easily if they had just held fire for a second or took a mid-ground position, listened to where the opponent's coming from before darting over to a specific light armor, a specific group of health bubbles, or whatever, or what have you even.
Well, that's the thing. It was just so high octane and so many re-engagements as soon as possible that the one deciding factor felt like if someone just took a time out, 5 seconds just to breathe,
yeah,
it could have been a whole different storyline.
I mean, it still made for great Quake to watch,
it did.
right?
It was
like
lovely.
it was fun, but they just made their lives so difficult. I was expecting nosfa to take that a little more comfortably. I see him as a slightly more advanced, very minorly, ahead of Effortless. But I feel like he was making mistakes that he hasn't made in months.
It's weird. I feel like the nosfa we saw here isn't the normal sort of the beast that he is. You know, it wasn't even that he was, playing a much slower play style, had really switched up his go-to and was doing something a little bit different. It was quite classic nosfa.
Yeah.
It just wasn't quite hitting the mark tonight.
Yeah, like this frag here, he was on 170 basically. And he had 5 health left at the end of the fight, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's tough work for nosfa because he's playing from Brazil on like a lot of ping and so on. So he does give us great showings. Like when you hit him still hit the shots that he's hitting, it's pretty remarkable. But it's not going to give the same level of consistency, which is why I'm always going to be excited for seeing him on LAN, seeing him on boot camp, seeing him on stream like that, playing locally. It's a lot of fun to get that kind of action from him.
Yeah, with no latency behind him, 100% full-on, unadulterated nosfa, it gets me excited.
Yeah, exactly, in many ways.
Credit where credit's due, though. Effortless, picking up the opening map there on Awoken.
Yep.
Not an easy task to steal away Awoken from nosfa.
It really wasn't. I don't know if I would have expected that. I guess I could see Effortless taking maps off nosfa, but I still would firmly expect nosfa to be the sort of favourite in this series. But he's got to brush that one off, and if he wants to succeed, then he needs to go forth and conquer now. Effortless is someone who's been given a lot of players in the Americas regions a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So don't add yourself to that list.
No.
He already kind of has, but
It's not a good list to be on.
Put it in pencil, not in marker.
Oh yeah, you can erase it. Or you can actually get rubbers that get rid of pen.
Is that not just a myth?
No, they smudge a bit, but you can get rid of them.
It's like you use it, but then the paper just ruptures.
Pretty much. Or Tipex. Just.
But you know in reality there's a mistake under there. And it's still there.
You always know.
You know you've messed up.
Yeah.
It's too late. Nothing.
It doesn't matter that they don't know.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, and you should be ashamed.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I brought it up. Well, map 2. Let's kick it off. Let's get back in. Effortless taking on nosfa.
Oh, this is really difficult now. Now that I've come to remember that Effortless has got Slash from himself today and then Strog right after. Like, this series is suddenly really difficult for nosfa. So he needs to hit a lot of stuff all the time. Nails. Oh, okay.
Or rails.
Well, Effortless got a little bit gung-ho in that. He didn't want to let it go at all. He wanted to push past choke points. He was ready to, take the roll of the dice, accept all the risk at hand. And it didn't pan out. He rolled a 1.
Critical
with
fail.
2 dice.
Ooh. You'd have to roll a 0. You'd have to just lose the dice.
Exactly.
Went off the edge of the map.
Oh, that was actually a really sexy roll from Effortless.
It's got the piercing sight up. Expecting the repeat to come around, but Effortless isn't going to try and make any mistakes today. And he's quickly out of there as well.
Effortless is going to still re-challenge for this. Through the teleporter in time.
Oh.
It's so fast. nosfa not thinking about the kind of speed that Effortless can wield. He's still going to get himself down onto the mega health. Great stack. Slash can be in a really strong position with that health and armor advantage. As you can see the amount of speed that Effortless has. Just whizzing around. There it is. There's going to be the lead taken.
It's the pre-fire, hoping to try and do some damage off the spawn. Not going to work out tonight, but it won't matter as he stashes away the heavy as well. And actually, there's going to be a scrap quicker than I expected. Straight back on top, the Goomba Stomp comes out. The damage is being done. nosfa, he might be lightning in a bottle, but he can't withstand all of this lightning straight to his lips.
Effortless is just going violently fast here. More resources. nosfa's on just 100 HP, but there's 2 rockets that hit him out of the teleporter. Steady yourself, sir. Thing is, nosfa's like, oh, I found a 25. It's the big bucks. And despite being on 60 health, Effortless misses the shots. That's going to allow nosfa to survive a little longer. That light armor, is it spawned? Is it spawned? Watching below the character portrait. Is that green bar going to emerge? Nope. Almost running into more rockets, actually. Where's the light? I love the denial.
Smooth moves from Effortless. He'll snatch away a further heavy into this. 3 attacks against nosfa. Gets him low, but can he capitalize off the back of this? Both of them trading with the rockets, but nosfa unfortunately will be the one that gets blown to bits by it. Effortless furthering his lead now. It's a frag a minute, Zoo.
Yeah, rail from nosfa in close range. Needed to be rockets only. Not sure about his ammo situation, but if there's no rockets, then you can't be there. That is, again, the moral of the story. nosfa does pick up a heavy. It's quite a big pickup. Love the dodge from nosfa. That was awesome. Can you get another rail? Oh, Effortless going to sneak out of there. Whoa. That rail angle came from absolutely nowhere. And again, he has the rail out, and he is not expecting this amount of speed from Effortless. And with chances that he's had of the ban not getting this champion out of the pool and instead Galena, it feels like he went for a sort of generic champion ban rather than a targeted champion ban. And again, he's going with rails. It works, but I personally think Effortless deserved that kill.
Oh yeah, I mean that's so sick though. That's just one of those moments where if you've got the confidence and you know you're going to be able to hit a rail like that, you're going to win yourself the frag. But you expose yourself, you go straight back down, as Effortless will do the same to him.
At least nosfa was able to trade on the rails then. He has managed to find a light armor too. More rails exchanged. Heavy for nosfa. Now he's kind of got a bit of control. He might only be sub-natural stack, but there's a bit of control that comes from this. And oh, wow, okay. That was quick. He can get the lightning gun and rush down to mega health. That's the play.
There really couldn't have been much of him on display there. A couple of pixels maybe as he went around the corner.
You can't let go of this. Okay. Effortless came near, but not near enough. Oh, he gets the mid. We had like mid-airs on mid-airs on mid-airs.
What? Well, that's disgustingly outrageous. That's not one you're going to see every day.
I think nosfa feels robbed from that. It was hitting with some ridiculous stuff.
Maybe he'll have a chance to avenge himself here now, though. He is lower on stack. He's going to be able to grab the light armor and find a frag with a rocket as he'll take down Effortless. Now only one frag difference between them both. Ooh, a little bit awkward.
Heavy up in a couple of seconds. Drops in time. Here's where Effortless is coming from, but damage now being taken. On 2 HP, Effortless just needs to slap him, and he's down. Instead, he'll use the LG, but there's the 2 frag advantage that he has.
Oh. Lightning gun coming across, fair bit of damage transferred, and that is a rapid quick switch. Lightning into rail, see you later. As he is punishing, the MG is going to start to tear him to pieces, though. He wants the pummel, but instead, he'll get blown to bits.
Gun the machine gun, which can do so much damage, has to switch the weapons. Almost a fatal move there. But Effortless is going to start feeling himself. The 5 frag advantage, levels of comfort start to rise a bit. If he can secure 1 or 2 more, then I think Effortless is going to be dancing backwards on the skates.
Heavy tags, both of them. Trading equal damage. The railgun really is going to be the decisive play. Instead, he won't get a chance to fire off another shot. nosfa dives in like the rocket he is and beats his way through Effortless. 4 frags between them both at this point. nosfa is the one that needs to try and catch up.
He just needs weapons at this stage. It's so important that he gets better weapons. He has 50 LG bolts. That's fine. Eventually gets those rockets. I could have run into him there for a moment, but he'll have the heavy, and he's got time. If he can take down Effortless once, then off the spawn, you don't know how many kind of strings of frags you can possibly pick up. Good defensive. I think that was a rocket to rail, in fact. I think that was a huge amount of damage that he just landed.
Chase is on. nosfa. He's the one doing the chasing, trying to get up close and personal here. Rocket is going to be fired out, looking to try and land it with a rail, but he's not really getting many opportunities. Debating whether or not he wants to use this super shotgun as well. Piercing sight will telegraph the location of Effortless, and the rail will be what sends him straight on a date with the coroner.
It does spot him. They had to go back for that light armor. Again, has 2 minutes to close the gap 3 times. Still seeing these item denials. And knows where he is. Going to leave the heavy up, but can't find any more chances as Effortless has already fled. He needs to close the gap now. He just needs to jump right in. Even through all of this, it's definitely worth it. But if Effortless blew up that plasma trail, maybe, I don't know how to calculate the damage from it. It could have been lethal.
Again, nice little deny there from nosfa. Oh, the timing actually works out very well. Near miss with a rail though, Zoo. could have been a whole different storyline. Definitely would have chunked Effortless down very low. Instead, he gets away pretty much okay, but he'll still be chased.
Here we go.
And he'll still be fragged.
Here we go. One more kill needed. There's time for him to get back the piercing sight too. He's going to deny more items, and he's found Effortless has just gone up into the open. There's nothing for him there. nosfa's made a huge comeback versus a Slash, and he might get even more soon. He is going to wait for this heavy. It's a very safe play, and I don't disapprove. You need to make sure you don't... Who says finally woke up? I couldn't agree more!
Oh!
Wow, even with the piercing sight, that is the tightest of angles.
That was a filthy cut.
I didn't know that angle even existed. I thought it was just a wall there.
8 pixels now. Oh, he's looking to try and do even more now as well. Definitely fired up. He is absolutely awake as this sleeping giant is back in full swing. And swing he will right into the face of Effortless. Blows him to bits. And he'll shut that one down. A 12-10 victory over Effortless.
Wow. Nice little comeback. nosfa actually carved out some really good opportunities for himself. He was using the fake rocket gems. His control was really good. It was nice and safely done. While Effortless had control, he did a fantastic job. What you're meant to do is just string together as many as you can, make sure that your frags are as clean as possible, and between those rotations, you can get super suffocated by someone as fast as Effortless. And nosfa definitely got confused by the movement occasionally, which is a strength for Effortless. Problem is, when Effortless didn't have the control, he couldn't find a safe place to hide.
No.
It was all about nosfa chasing and also hitting some immensely crucial rails, even with the piercing sight. Some of those angles were, I mean, they don't get tighter than that.
The rails were by far the most decisive part. That was what was really starting to get him back into the game. Constantly being able to whittle away at his HP and also just punishing with, I mean, honestly, some frags that I feel like he never should have even got because they were just disgusting.
No, exactly. There was this moment here, like that moment where nosfa was just having the rail out a lot. Like, again, it's just, he's got the rail. It's like, okay, you've got 90 damage, but what else can you do? And here is another time where he actually got away with it. And after that, it seemed to be a sort of small remedy for him. This was the double mid-air moment.
That was outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Damage done, though. And nosfa straight back in action, proving that he has a lot to prove left in this series. He is not content with going quietly into the night. He is putting up a fight. And moving on to our third and final map, with him being on form and Effortless really starting to, get those fists up and deal some damage, I'm excited.
This is where the comeback started to happen again. nosfa just getting in the way of that, the machine gun, just spraying as much as he could. Again, those angles were so close. I'm looking forward to seeing that one later on if we do get it one more time. Being able to chase with this Effortless, just looking over the edge, just not exactly sure where's he coming from. And finally woke up. That one there, that was actually ridiculous. That was past two of the tightest corners. I actually want to see that spot with no X-ray and just see actually how close is that really. That was outrageous.
That was just mental. That blew my mind. That shot was the one that just, I think, erupted us and definitely projected him back into such a dominant force. nosfa, he's definitely woke up.
Yeah, and it was getting a little bit tense for him there because this is a match he really should be winning. He's definitely starting to play a lot better. He said finally woken up, and I fully agree. Like his anticipation is much better. It's day and night better than Awoken. Yeah. So moving on to the last map, can it get better? Or you know what? It doesn't even matter if it can't. If it can stay at that kind of level, and if Effortless 2 can stay at that level, then we're on for a really exciting map of Ruins.
He's got fit. He just needs to maintain. Let's carry on as we see if there is going to be a possibility of that. So the decider between Effortless and nosfa starts now.
It's going to be Strog versus BJ. So Effortless gets to maintain the crouch sliding, albeit with a couple of constraints. But some time being taken. Getting onto the important weapons. There is a light armor down the lower end. nosfa surely won't drop. Just looking for some damage from up above. And his splash is pretty good. He can drop now. He can actually go down. With the LG, he's looking great. He can decide exactly what he wants to do. Oh, the rail! He's trying to see, okay, where am I forcing the spawn? Which side is he going to go? Oh, it's a brilliant rocket. And although it lands with the... Oh my god, that was close. F's in chat for Effortless. Maybe that's what his name is. F? Oh, never mind, I'm overthinking it. Something like cryptic.
No,
rubbish.
yeah. Well, it would be F more, technically.
F more, yeah.
He's on an F. He's not F-less.
Yeah, true, true. Thanks, Jackie, for saving me there.
I tried. Oh. Well, to be fair, this is horrific, though. When it starts off like this, nosfa's already straight off out of the gate with 2 frags, and you can see that he's hungering for more. Gets you a little bit worried.
Yeah, I mean, it's a glorious start, right? Oh, Effortless going for the spicy moves. Little jump shot yet again. Testing the distance of the Pika.
Ooh. Mega comes up.
Some very nice casual rails here from nosfa.
Yeah, I mean, it completely negates Mega essentially at this point. Is just going to be able to damage him so heavily. Ooh, leaping his way back over, going to grab the light, but it's not going to save him at all. It'll do nothing for him, in fact, as he is being torn to shreds right now, and nosfa is still going.
Stop going with the rail! Oh my god! Oh, he's still railable! 90 collective health number. You've got so many weapons, nosfa. So many! I'm okay. nosfa needs to make sure he's okay, because it's the kind of like frags you give up that again can rock the boat a bit too much. But, okay, that rail was awesome. There was just a scalp to look at, and yet he finds the pixels for it.
Oh, wow. I mean, that was a rapid adjustment, at least, off the back of the rail. Going to tag him up quite heavily. Dives in with a lightning gun and strips the flesh off of Effortless.
nosfa is looking immense on this map. Sure, there's a blip with the weapon, but otherwise he's having a crazy good read on everything that Effortless is doing. I talked about he doesn't even need to elevate his game from the last map, but I really think he has been. Just got to get these shots to land. The rail wouldn't cut it for him. Now it would. Hello.
Oh no. Oh, that's outrageous.
That's exactly what I'm feeling, nosfa.
Goodness me.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's one way to get a frag. Let's see if he can find any
You know, and it's not even that bad for Effortless. Like he gets the trade. Like nosfa really should have found a way to get that clean. That was fairly clean, actually. Couple of rockets, a little scatter of LG at the end. Why the hell not? And he finds him. He's like, oh, you want the LG? The little mid. Oh my god! Blocked by the Pika, and then Effortless hits the vertical rail. WTF.
Things are changing.
What's happening?
I don't know. There's a storm brewing, and it's coming off the back of Effortless right now, as he's being able to punish quite effectively.
That was the biggest block I've ever seen. That is the next level play, and he didn't even realize it. No one could have anticipated that.
Never before in the history of Quake.
Or he's running into the dualies. Oh my god, and he's punished for it accordingly.
It's always with a rail. He is going to connect onto him, but it's been recovered. Luckily, he was able to find himself the mega health, and that will put him back into a good position.
Just get the light armor, and everything's okay. It's just chaos at the moment. There's chaos, and I'm worried about the heart rate of these players, and myself, most importantly. I might not make it to the end. Oh, tribal. This guy's just conjuring these most bizarre situations, but it's all like flowing so nicely into one another. Just using that as a sort of blocker. Oh, God, a little bit of self-damage on that. 15 HP. Dual wield preservation earlier didn't do enough for him. And just to look into that, maybe if he did it a second or two later, possibly, maybe something could have something different could have happened. Oh, here's a jump. Effortless, looking good. Rocket jump to a little double. Whose time to shine is it now?
Effortless firing out the warning rockets to send in the Pika. It almost actually frags out nosfa there. He's trying his luck with a rail. You might want to use something different. No, you know what? Stick with it. It works. Again, nosfa goes down. Effortless is really starting to come into his own here. 2 frags difference between them. Tons of time left to play with. The lightning gun is out, and the connections are beautiful. If you can finish nosfa here, it would be huge. The railgun connection, Zoot.
That's some great damage at the end. And it's really impressive from Effortless. After he's had such a rough start to the map that he's still just manning up in all these situations, making some great decisions, but the rocket comes late, and nosfa, I actually can't believe he runs past that choke point. That's insane to do. But it's working. And it's working. Why on earth not? Uh-oh. Oh, the Pika. Jumping over these rockets. It's doing the hurdles here.
Goes back down. Battling over the heavy.
Yeah, that was a quick get out move. Just, yeah, maybe I won't disturb you. Sorry for getting on your territory.
Does bust out the dual will, but won't get a chance to really do much with it. Now he will have to try and fight for his life, though. Fails in that one. Effortless, killing him with the lightning gun, and another mega picked up to replenish his HP. This is going very well for the Strog.
He sensed him. His spidey sense tingled.
The Strog sense?
Strog's, sure.
Or his Pika tingle.
Sure. Speaking of Pika, it does get a bit of oh no! Oh, he can make it work! He does it! He recovers excellently. We've got less than 2 minutes to go. Effortless, searching for a frag to tie it up. nosfa, did he peak too soon in this tiebreaker map? This is a glorious stack for Effortless to have.
One minute 30 left on the clock. 1 frag between them at this point. And Effortless is up on a pedestal, looking for the prime time to swing into action. Knows his location, lands the rail. He'll snatch away the mega. He's in a good spot here. He knows where he's going to be, but will he run the risk of diving into him? Of course he will. Effortless goes full Super Saiyan, turns the corner, takes down nosfa, looks for the kill on the spawn.
That was a good read from Effortless. Really good read. His stack is so good now. This is so difficult for nosfa to defend at the end. He was the hero at the start of the map. And Effortless has taken his cape.
Near miss from both of them, firing out their warning shots there with the rails, but the deep dive comes in the form of Effortless, going 100% full confidence, chasing him down, firing off rail after rail. It's final 30-second territory here to see if someone's going to get the upper hand or if this is going to sudden death.
Oh, blinded by the light up at the top. Pika comes out. Oh, it does get the 75 damage. Is he going to actually rocket jump? He misses the jump. He can't go for it again. It's too much now. You need to preserve some of that stack. But it is a saving grace that nosfa needed. Are we going to get ourselves a second sudden death? Oh my god, he just landed 2 rails in a row, didn't he? nosfa has to make a play now for the heavy armor. Suddenly, it's turned around.
nosfa, he will get the heavy. Both of them are still fairly close in their stack. I think it was about 1 or 2 seconds extra, yeah. Oh, he peeks up into it though. The rail's gonna land. They're still both so low. So he goes straight in. They're both literally on the same position, firing out with the Pika.
Oh, I thought he was gonna go for him there. Who's gonna go for the mega though is the question. Oh my god. nosfa, oh, he hits the rail afterwards. Oh, it was like on the frame that he picked it up. But now Effortless can't challenge for this heavy. Absolute desperation plays we're seeing from some of these guys. There's the light armor just for a little small sense of safety. Oh, he does actually still hit it though, which is pretty sick. But nosfa, is he going to come in? There's a choke point, which is nasty to work with. The rocket is good. He finds the follow-up. The Mega was late. nosfa snatches the series from Effortless. Absolutely brutal.
God damn. The rocket turns the corner. 3 seconds we're replaying in his mind. That was the difference maker. If that Mega would have been up, he could have stayed alive. Instead, he will meet his maker.
So nosfa of the 8 points, Effortless of the 4. Still some important points for Effortless, honestly. But yeah, we see our champion, and in a very weird series.
Yeah, I'd say
I liked it. It was a fun series, and it had me on the edge of my seat.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned a lot about myself watching that.
I mean, there was some moments of madness, there was some unorthodox decisions, but all in all, there was just really a brawl between these two. They went at it and at it. Again, the railgun being the decision maker in every single play.
That killed it. Like, I'm pretty sure nosfa had like every weapon, and yet he was going for rail only. What was that? The Pika rocket exchange? Is it here? It's even funnier this time looking at it.
So weird. Also,
the
Pika block.
Actually, that was even sicker, I reckon. The mutual was just ridiculous. The block was just unbelievable.
There was some crazy, crazy moments in this.
And that was actually really stylish. The rocket jump, the little pop rocket, and follow up. It was hot. We had like everything in this map alone, let alone the series.
Oh, they gave us some highlights.
Yeah.
They knew how to appease us, and they did very well.
And nosfa just jumps past here and is like, yeah. I just couldn't believe he did that. Could not believe it.
That's the confidence of nosfa.
I think we have another way. He's like, I'm gonna still go in for this anyway. Like he almost lost the opportunity there, but he felt it was the moment. Oh, Effortless, you were so close to that series. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Just wasn't meant to be. Guess the one map win.
I was worried for nosfa though, because he was such a good start that he had. Like even the first 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It seemed to like fade away completely, and I was like, man, he's
lost.
You could see him go up in the series, and you could also see him drop down again. I was like, he needs to somehow find a way to plateau at least, keep some kind of his form before the end, which he just about did.
In the end, eventually was able to get that extra little bit of upward draft to take him over the edge. Yeah, much needed and definitely deserved there, as that kept us on the edge of our seats. That was outrageous. Going into the sudden death as well to shut it down. Just pure madness. One off the back of a single rocket. We'll be now rocketing into our next match though. Game 6. This one is going to be quite interesting. Base versus Razy. To get your appetite ready for this one, we do have another little special interview that we cooked up, as we had an interview with Base.
Hello everybody and welcome to Quake Pro League, where today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Base. Now, you've had a very strong start throughout the season. You've taken down Cooler and Kilson, but this week you're going to be facing up against Razy. What's your kind of approach coming into this game?
У тебя было очень хорошее начало сезона. Ты победил у Кулера и у Килсона. Но на этой неделе у тебя впереди очень тяжелый матч против Razy. Как готовишься?
Ну, во-первых, что я хочу сказать. Ты будешь дословно переводить?
Постараюсь.
Хорошо. Для начала было замечательное, потому что, как говорится, без труда и не вынешь и рыбку из пруда.
So, beginning was really good because hard work pays off.
Ты сказал, что ты будешь дословно переводить.
Ну, это я не знаю, как эти пословия переводить, извиняюсь.
Но ребята тоже трудятся, соответственно, результаты довольно близкие. С Razy, да, вопрос? С Razy просто я буду играть в свою игру, ничего особенного предпринимать не буду. Единственное, что, может быть, надену шерстяные носки. Да. Изменения сделал, потому что последний раз я проиграл, без носков был. На этот раз шерстяные надену.
So everyone is playing, so it's really I really need to grind and play well. And versus Razy, I'm not gonna change my approach. I will just keep playing and will try to play my game. But there will be only one difference. My previous game I played without socks, and for game versus Razy, I'm gonna put warm socks and hope it's gonna pay off.
Well, fingers crossed. That sounds like a very good approach. But just speaking a bit more about the Russian scene, it's not a scene that many EU players are familiar with if they don't speak the Russian native language. Are there any particular players that you think are up-and-coming talents that fans should keep their eye out for?
Русская сцена очень богата на неизвестные таланты. Можешь назвать каких-то восходящих звезд? Кто-то, по-твоему, ворвется в элиту Quake из СНГ комьюнити?
Так, майоров уже нету, да? Так, сейчас надо подумать. Элита Квейка. Я видел, Импульс играет сейчас в Quake из Нави. У него все природные данные для этого есть. Рост, вес, красота. В принципе, в Quake все по ГОСТу, по такому. Но в принципе, я думаю, может и Пепка ворваться. Пепка, да. И пожелаю ему на этом удачи.
So it's a really rough question, but he thinks that perfect player that can fit into Quake scene is Navi Impulse from Apex Legends. He is has perfect weight, perfect height, and he started to play Quake, and he has really big potential. And other player will be Pepko, and he wishes best of luck for him.
Well, you recently acquired a teammate in CNZ. Do you guys practice together and develop your skills as a team?
У тебя появился тиммейт CNZ. Тренируетесь вместе? Дополняете скилл друг другу? Как вообще проходят тренировки?
Да, мы практикуемся. Конечно, не так много, как хотелось бы, но вот у CNZ есть проблемы. Он, когда, например, играет в практике со мной, да, и выступает уже на самом турнире, и он как бы в чужом глазу сучок не видит, а в своем бревна не замечает. Поэтому у него последние два результата именно такие, собственно. Пожалуйста.
Yeah, we are practicing not as much as we wish, but when CNZ started practicing with me, his results are not very promising lately in QPL, and it's because he is focusing too much on other people's mistakes and not on his own.
Your playstyle in itself can be described as very iconic. You're much sort of slower and more calculated than some of the other players we see in the league. How would you yourself describe your playstyle, and why do you think it differs so much to some of the other players?
Внимательно.
Ты вот такой дипломатичный игрок. Все делаешь по полочкам, очень сейвово, пассивно играешь, все красиво. Как ты сам назовешь себя? Какой у тебя стиль?
Ну, наверное, запорожец. Потому что... Поясню, почему. Дело в том, что... Да, ты медленно едешь. Ты медленно подбираешься, но ты знаешь, что ты доедешь. А почему ты доедешь? Потому что если сломается BMW, ты ее не починишь. А Запорожец ты всегда сможешь отремонтировать в пути. И он тебе прослужит долгую работу. Поэтому дисциплина еще раз. Дисциплина в кубе.
So, I compare myself to the Russian car Zaporozhets, which means that I'm going slowly, but in the right direction. And even if I break or something going wrong, I will just slowly fix it and we'll keep going forward.
Well, thank you very much for your taking the time to speak to us today, Base, and good luck in this week's games.
Thank you.